Today is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and it's been about 5 days since I posted a video, so there's a lot to catch up on. We've got Robinhood to talk about a little bit, then we've got Nike a little bit, and then of course it is the start of a new month, so I gotta update you guys on how much I've made in the month of September. So let's get right into it. My Roth IRA, as usual, has not been doing anything. But my investing account, of course, it is down 0.9%. For the week, it is up over 5.5%. Month is almost 20%. 3 months is almost 36. Year to date is 132. And then past year, 252%. And then, of course, all time, almost 475%. And of course, today, the NASDAQ was actually up almost 0.5%. But for the past week, it's only up 0.7%. And for the month, it is up 6.8%. Whereas I'm up 19% for the month. So I am still outperforming the NASDAQ by a very healthy margin. Year to date, it's only up 17%. And if we take a look at my recent transactions, you guys will notice that I did sell another covered call on Robinhood, and then I rolled one of my other covered calls. It was the 135 strike. I rolled it into 160, and of course I was able to collect $60 off of that. And then of course I collected my Pepsi dividend, and then later on today I will be collecting my Nike dividend. Now, most of the outperformance that I've had this past month is mostly off the backs of Robinhood and a little bit of Nike. And as you can see, those are all of my option positions that I have open right now. But we'll scroll down to my positions. Nike is $39,000 of my account right now. Robinhood is over 200K. If we take a look at the percentages, Robinhood is now up 1,245% for me. If you take a look at the percentage change for today, it is down a little bit. So my total equity was actually a lot higher yesterday when it was soaring. And most of it, of course, is off the news that Robinhood has seen a lot of sports betting and event contract success, which is no surprise at all. But the market just wants to do what the market wants to do. So Robinhood stock just went up. And then, of course, Robinhood, I believe, announced that they're going to be rolling out a lot of these features to international markets. So that is exciting, but I do believe now we are getting to a point where Robinhood stock is just a little bit too overheated. Obviously, it could still go all the way up and tag 150. It might even go all the way up to 200 before it starts to have like a cool down period or a crash, correction, whatever you want to call it. But I have been a lot heavier into covered calls, as you guys could see, because I do not want to miss my opportunity to collect a little bit of those profits that I was lucky enough to get in Robinhood stock itself. So I don't want to let the opportunity go to waste to collect some extra option premium, collect some profits, lower my cost basis, of course, lower my margin. So I have been doing that. Nike is also up, I believe 6% today, mostly because of the earnings report. The market is reacting positively to that. But Nike is kind of in a similar situation to PayPal, where the stock will move up and down by like 5% or more. But if you've been a long-term shareholder and you've been keeping an eye on it for a long time now, you'll notice that it's basically been flat. So even though I am happy that Nike has gotten a positive reaction to their earnings, it's not too exciting because I'm basically break even at this point. If we just take a look at the total returns, I mean, I am down 1%, but I've also been collecting option premiums on the side. So I am slightly in the green, barely break even. But I did want to go ahead and talk about the main topic I wanted to make this video of, which is SoFi and Robinhood, and how recently SoFi has actually been a lot better than Robinhood, believe it or not. Obviously, features wise, Robinhood is still better as a brokerage, right? It's still the main brokerage app that I use. Not only is it my favorite brokerage app, but it's also basically my favorite app on my phone, like period. And Robinhood, I would say, has always been better in terms of giving you the highest interest for your cash, or at least higher than SoFi. And of course, having a lot more features and options when it comes to your brokerage investments. But recently, for anybody that has been paying attention, you'll notice that SoFi has been making some moves. If we scroll down to my post here, I said SoFi starting to be a better deal than Robinhood. For anybody that doesn't know, SoFi savings rate is actually 3.8 right now, while Robinhood's is 3.75. So obviously Robinhood has lower margin interest. It's like 5.3, 5.5, somewhere around there right now for Robinhood margin. But when it comes to actual savings, SoFi is actually a better deal, which is shocking because you can pay for a SoFi membership, but if you want to get it for free, all you have to do is put direct deposit into the app. So it's not like SoFi is asking for much, whereas Robinhood, you actually have to have a subscription to Robinhood Gold. So you actually have to pay Robinhood money, but you're getting slightly less interest on your savings, which is a little bit disappointing, but not as disappointing as this next post. So recently, I did get the Robinhood Gold card. The physical card has not been in the mail yet, but I did try out some of their features like the virtual card. But unfortunately, when I went to make my rent payment on the virtual Robinhood Gold card, it declined, and I got an email explaining that mortgage, rent payments, and any fees associated with it are not supported on Robinhood Gold, which is very disappointing because from my limited experience with Robinhood Gold card right now, obviously I don't have the physical card yet. I haven't redeemed any cash back yet, so I can't speak to the other claims that people have been having where Robinhood doesn't actually give you 3% as a statement credit. It's actually slightly less. I cannot speak to any of those claims right now, but my experience so far with Robinhood Gold, I actually don't think it's huge competition for the major credit card companies, and I don't even think it's the best value, to be honest. Obviously, feature-wise, it's, I think, a great addition to someone's wallet. For any of you guys that are into credit cards and have a collection of them for different features and purposes, Robinhood Gold Card is definitely useful for the virtual cards, the one-time usage cards, the ones with time limits or whatnot. I think those are very cool and very useful. And of course, the app itself, just like Robinhood has always been very user friendly, not a surprise there. But in terms of cash back, you have SoFi, the SoFi 2% card, which I don't know if they're still giving those out. But if you're a SoFi member, it's actually 2.2% cash back, whereas Robinhood is 3%, but you can't use the Robinhood Gold card with everything like you can do with the SoFi card, right? So for example, the SoFi 2.2% one that I use for my rent payment right now is actually a 2.2% cashback card that I can redeem almost immediately as soon as it's available. And also, Robinhood is kind of not tricking us, but they are purposely doing some things in order to make the gold card profitable in the short term. And I don't know if that strategy is going to work in the long term, just because you need to be an actual competitive credit card overall. And what I mean by that is right now you can pick which reward you want and have your points allocated to that instead of actually redeeming it as a statement credit every single month. So in a way, it's Robinhood saving money in the short term because they don't have to literally pay out a statement credit to you every single month this instant, but they're accumulating that liability slowly over time and giving you these rewards that might not actually be worth the amount that you're saving up for, if that makes any sense. So if you have a 3% cashback card and you're actually collecting 3% cashback, but the merchandise that you're trying to redeem the statement credits for is so overpriced, it doesn't actually feel like a 3% cashback card, if that makes any sense. So just to explain to you guys a little bit about what I've been talking about, obviously it says 3% cash back, and so far I've collected 801 points. And as of right now, my points are being allocated to the solid gold card. But what I meant by the card not actually feeling like a 3% cashback card is this hat, for example, the white feather cap that is 4,500 points. That's roughly $45 for a hat. So is it actually a 3% cashback card if your points that you're saving up is being redeemed on something that's doubled what it normally would be worth, right? So if you think about it, it's actually a 1% or a 1.5% cashback card. So obviously Robinhood's numbers in the short term relating to the gold card might look okay, but in the long term, I just don't know if this strategy is going to work to actually win people over. Because you have other credit cards like the Citi 5% card or the Discover 5% card or the Chase 5% card. You're collecting 5% on everyday spending that you can actually redeem for cash at full value. Or even, like I said, SoFi's 2.2% cashback card. These are still much better value than Robinhood's 3%, even though it looks like Robinhood's 3% card is a lot more valuable on paper. Now, obviously, I have full faith that Robinhood slowly over time will diversify their business even more, really establish themselves as a major financial institution and be so diversified to where they actually can afford to pay these very high rewards cards like Chase or Citi or even Discover that now has the backing of Capital One, right? Obviously, when Robinhood gets to that level, they actually can afford a 3% on everything cashback card. So I'm not saying this is the end of Robinhood forever. I'm just saying in the short term, Robinhood could see a correction, and some of that might be tied to fundamentals, maybe, or just the overall economy in general. But I also wanted to give a quick shout out to SoFi Insider that did quote the post that I did. And he says, Hood, 3% cashback on everything except the good stuff. I know he says expect, but I'm sure he meant to say except the good stuff. SoFi is better. And as of right now, as a user of both the gold card and SoFi's 2.2% cashback card, I still prefer SoFi's. Just being completely honest, I'm not saying you should short Robinhood or buy calls on SoFi. I'm just saying in the short term, I've been enjoying SoFi a lot better actually when it comes to savings and credit card. All right, so now we finally get to how much money I've made on my Robinhood investing account in the month of September. So trading wise was just like futures, option premiums, etc. I've collected roughly $84.92. Dividends is $208.25, but I also did have an interest payment of $302.08. So that brings my total to about $8.91 of cash outflow. So I didn't make any money, quote unquote, on paper this month, or this past month, I should say. But keep in mind that doesn't include my stock buys and sells. So if you include that with my EA sell that I did when the news came out that they were going to get bought out, that actually brings my total down to $1,510.93 of cash inflow. So I was able to pay back my margin a little bit for the month of September. But of course, now we also get to your guys' comments on my previous video. We have Dustin that says, I bought 20K of CMG and SG last week. And yeah, I know they've actually been going down a little bit. SG has been going down a lot more. CMG a little bit, just kind of break even. Of course, I think Kava has also taken a little dip. But he also says he bought 33K of TAP. I'm not sure what that is. Riding Intel, 25K at $24. Interesting. We have T, that says Big Bear AI is in my dreams. Congrats to you if you've been making money on that. We have Luigi that says I made like $700 on one Robinhood call and the she ran up all day. Well, congrats to you guys for making money. $700 on one Robinhood call, that's pretty decent. And Dustin, I pray and hope that CMG and SG start going up from here, because 20K in CMG and SG, I mean that's a decent amount